be talking to players from the entire team.
Today, I'm joined by Peyton Chattenay.
What's your mindset when you step on the mound?
When did you learn you were going to be in Orleans?
What do you think that feeling is going to be like?
Hi, Cape League fans. This is Coach K, manager of the Orleans Firebirds, and I'm here to tell you that Cape League baseball is back this summer, and it's time to meet the Bird King.
Welcome into another episode of Meet the Bird Gang 2.0. Once again, I'm Noah Sears, and I'll be on the sidelines all season long, which, by the way, starts in about a week's time. I know I couldn't be excited enough for the season to start, but also excited that we have a fun interview today. None other than USC catcher Garret Guillemette joining me today with that fantastic background, beautiful weather. So, Garret, thanks for giving me some of your time today.
Thank you for having me.
So, we got a lot to get to. Cape season starting soon, and, that's what the fans want to hear about. How is this Firebirds team going to be doing this year? But before we get to that, let's take it back to the season you just wrapped up. USC, you're with the Trojans, and this was actually your true freshman year. For a lot of kids, they had their freshman years postponed due to COVID, but you came in and this was legitimately your first year of college baseball. So, before we dive into what the season was like, the nitty gritty, the details, just give me your impressions on what college baseball was like for you.
Yeah, man. I mean, coming in as one of the youngsters, man, it was kind of eye opening. But it was so much fun. Baseball, the baseball with the atmosphere, all the fans that we ended up having towards the end of the season, and the coaching staff and everyone coming together after the hard times that were happening through the pandemic, it made it so much more worth it. The way it was everything I could ever dreamed of, especially just being back near home too in Southern California and just surrounded by good people, good vibes all around. It was unbelievable.
Well, yeah, and I was kind of curious. You went to USC, and you're from the area. Was that a large part of why you decided to go there to play baseball?
To be honest, I committed to University of Oregon my freshman year, and when the coaching change happened, I decommitted, and I opened it up, and I really wanted to go to the East Coast. I had some schools from the East Coast that I was really interested in, and I was going to make a decision, and then SC came out of nowhere. And then they offered me, and I was like, I can't turn this down. I can't turn it down. It's the perfect distance from home. And the coaching staff was unbelievable. They made me right, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So, yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it too.
Well, and it's kind of a win-win because now you get to come out east and experience baseball out here. So it kind of all ended up working out for you. That freshman season for a lot of prospects that play college baseball, you play traveling ball, you play on these very competitive clubs, but it doesn't really compare to the level of talent you play in college baseball, especially being in the Pac-12, which is absolutely loaded with talent. So, what was that process like kind of growing into, Division I Pac-12 baseball?
Yeah, it was a big jump for sure. Especially since everyone that we play with has always played high level travel ball. And then you get to the main stage of college baseball, and every single person that's playing is legit. They're the real deal. So it was really cool watching all these players that I've never played with. It's just everyone's good and everyone just has skills, and you learn a lot from other people too, for sure. I learned a lot from other players we played against, and it was a big jump, and I settled down in the middle of the season. I started doing better, and it was one of the most fun times I've ever had.
Well, you mentioned kind of settling down in the middle of the season. I actually kind of dug into your stats a bit. Your season batting average, .299, 10 doubles, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. Nothing to scoff at. But if you look at your final 13-game stretch, .408 batting average, you were absolutely tearing it up. So, what kind of changed from that first part to the latter part of the season? Was it, a mentality thing? Was it just getting more reps? Was it a confidence thing? What led to you absolutely tearing it up for USC that second half of the spring?
Yeah, man. To start the season, I was really excited. We did some inter squads. I was doing well. And then I tried doing too much. I was like putting so much pressure on myself for absolutely no reason. I wasn't playing the game I always knew how to play. So I was like talking to some like coaches, Coach Gabe and Bobby and Coach Gill. We were just like trying to figure out what's going through my head right now. And I just simplified everything. I made baseball, I made it as easy as I could make it. And it was one of the better decisions I made, especially in the game of baseball, because it's one of the hardest sports ever. So I just settled down. I found my little groove, and it just worked for me. And I'm just lucky that I had the people behind me to help me as well. So,
Well, it's been said a bajillion times before, baseball is as mental of a game as any other sport out there. So if you don't have your head right, it's really hard to perform on the field. And I was actually looking into your social media a bit, and you haven't posted a lot lately, but you do have a pinned tweet, which I think I'm going to throw up here and read. You said, "I firmly believe that there's a reason that things happen out of our control. In the end, you can't stay comfortable with yourself. There's room for growth. Growth is everything. Every day is a challenge. Find your happiness." This was in July of 2020, kind of the midst of this pandemic. And I will say that's a lot more mature than you would see out of most kids graduating out of high school. So, in the context of both that tweet and kind of just your general mindset, how do you keep mentally sharp both in the game of baseball, but also in life?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm a big believer in like manifesting and like just thinking about things, like just putting good thoughts into your head. That's what Coach Gill says too, is just go to bed good thoughts. Before we play games, go to bed with good thoughts. Everyone has their own stress and anxiety and everything. So like I try to simplify everything, just make everything in a good perspective. Just to like get all those demons out and just play, have some fun. And that's one of the biggest things I learned, especially during this pandemic in the summer, and I was supposed to be playing summer ball and stuff. And, we weren't able to go to school the first semester. So like I was trying to give some advice to other people. It's like, just find your happiness. You like, my happiness obviously is baseball. I got a good family that supports me and everything. So that was just some words of wisdom that I had. Happy you brought that up too, because that's a big thing, especially like that our senior year, the 2020 senior year, was a lot of people were frustrated because it affected some college stuff and a lot of recruiting stuff for everyone. So it's a grind out there, and just find the happiness. That's all it is.
Well, yeah, and you mentioned kind of the importance of your family through all this. And you come from a family that has an athletic background. Your grandfather was actually, he played in the Cardinals organization way back when, and your dad, he was a golfer, played in the PGA. So how has that helped both in your upbringing, being competitive in sports, maybe a little friendly competition in the family, but also kind of what you mentioned and, just playing for the love of the game?
Yeah, man. The athletic family, like that definitely is a benefit. But my parents have never been like so like hard on me, like pushed me ever. Like I play baseball because I like playing baseball. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. But they just support me with everything. Having a dad who's played high level competitive sports, he played a very mental sport as well. So he knows how, like, he talks to me all the time. Like, he knows when I'm frustrated and stuff. My grandpa, he was actually committed to SC out of high school, but he signed with the Cardinals. He's one, like my best friend. He helps me through everything as well. And my oldest sister played college soccer in Indiana. So they're all there. Their support with me is just unbelievable, and they're like my backbone. So they help a lot with the whole mental aspect of the game of baseball, especially since it was my freshman year and they knew I was in a little slump in the beginning. So, yeah, just having that support was one of the biggest things that helped me this year.
How did that work in COVID as far as, communication was a lot different? Was it, come in the form of a text, a call? Would they come to games? How did your family stay involved in your freshman season at USC?
Yeah, well, they watched every single live stream, or when we were on the Pac-12 network on the TV, they were watching it like all of our family sat down on the couch, unless my sisters were working, but they were always watching on their phone. They'd send me my videos of my hitting through iMessage. I'd look at it after the game. And then finally, when fans were allowed, they were at every single one of my games. My sister and my mom went to U of A. They went to Tucson to come watch us. But they were at every home game, which was really cool.
And I know you've only got 1 year of college baseball under your belt, but you seem to have a very good grasp of some of the nuances of, the mental side of sports, being at college, all that stuff. So, if you had to boil it down to, a more simple concept, I know that's not easy to do, but if you were talking to somebody who's about to come in and play baseball or really play any sport for that matter at the collegiate level, what would your one word of advice be to make sure that, they don't essentially get burnt out and stay loving the game that they've played their entire lives?
I mean, I would just honestly say, like, I don't know, try to find the fun. Like, just the big thing with me was like fun. Just have some fun. Like, it's hard. It's a competition. It's a grind. Just have some fun. Like, if you play this your whole life, it hasn't changed in front of you. It hasn't changed. The competition got a little better, but you're still playing the same thing you've played your whole life. So just come in, have some fun. It's a little grind. You're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be the best decision. You're gonna love it.
There you go. Just have some fun. I think that's, exciting for Firebirds fans to hear. They'll have fun watching you, especially when you're having fun with your teammates. And when you think about this upcoming Cape season, when did you first hear about the Cape Cod Baseball League? It's been said many times that it is the pinnacle for collegiate baseball in the summer. So when did you first hear about it, and how did you find out that you were going to be playing for the Firebirds this year?
I first heard about the Cape my freshman sophomore year. It was we would like it always come up on YouTube, like the live streams and stuff. So my dad and I would like watch it, and he has the bucket list, and one of the things on his bucket list was for me to play in the Cape. So I found out I was actually playing for the Firebirds about a month ago. My coach it was either I stay home, like work out, get big, or I go play for the Cape. And at the time when he got approached by the Firebirds, I wasn't doing as well. So he's like, okay, well, like maybe you can stay home, get big, like get bigger, get stronger. But my numbers started producing. He's like, yeah, no, you're going to the Cape. Like it's going to be the best decision of your, like you're going to the Cape. I was like, okay, I'm in, let's do it. So finding that out, telling my parents, like they were ecstatic, and I was super pumped up. I was amped. So I'm really excited to play.
Well, and not only are you coming out here, you got a teammate joining you, Rylan Thomas. What's that going to be like, being able to play with one of your Trojan teammates on the Cape?
Oh, I'm pumped. Rylan was a big ass part of our team this year. He produced a lot of runs, just getting on base. He covers the most ground I've ever seen by an outfielder. So I'm really excited to see him. Him and I, we're boys. So like I'm really pumped, especially since I get to see him play again, because I love watching him play. He plays the game right.
Well, I think, I can speak for all fans of Orleans. We're excited for both of you guys to take the field. Excited for the 2021 Cape Cod Baseball League season. That was a lot of your background as a player. We've learned about, your athletic career, everything on that side, but we're still missing a little part. It's kind of your personality off the field. So I'm going to jump over and run a segment I like to do on these interviews. It's called The Squeeze, and much like the play in baseball, kind of chaotic, kind of bang bang, don't necessarily know what's going to happen. The segment is kind of like that, where I'm going to put a minute on a clock, and I'm just going to throw a bunch of questions at you, kind of geared towards figuring out, more about Garret, more about your personality. You think you're down for that?
Let's do it.
Alrighty, I'm going to throw a minute on the clock right now, and it's going to start right now. First question, describe yourself in 3 words or less.
Outgoing, funny, nerd.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
There are 2 very popular activities on the Cape, so what's going to be your off-day activity? Are you going to the beach, or are you playing mini golf?
Mini golf, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
golf,
shocked.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have the beach here, man. Mini golf is my favorite.
Fair enough.
Putt, as they call it. Yeah.
We might have to tear up the course sometime. Who's on the pregame playlist?
Ooh. So I'm either straight Lil Baby, Drake, Lil Durk, or I'm country music. Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen. depends. Or I'm even going like Hall and Oates, some old school music.
Yes,
or Motley
Hall and
Crue.
Oates. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we
Yes.
got time for one more. What's your favorite food?
I eat Chipotle like almost every day. So Mexican food and Italian food, pasta, anything that gets me my macros, I love it. I eat everything. I'm not picky at all.
All right. So I got to ask then, if I go to Chipotle and I ask for the Garret Guillemette bowl, what's in it?
Half and half rice, so brown white rice, chicken, pico, mild salsa, corn, cheese, lettuce, and a little sour cream.
Okay.
You get that. And then a tortilla on the side. You get a tortilla on the side so you can make little
You
burrito.
have to. That's a very respectable bowl. I like that you pack it. So good choice there. A lot of fun there. We're excited to kind of get to know you more as a person throughout the season. That was just a little bit of taste, and unfortunately, we're running down on time here. But before I let you go, I'm going to tee you up here and basically give you the platform to talk to the fans of Orleans and kind of tell them exactly what you're about. So basically, Garret, what can Orleans Firebirds fans expect when you take the field this summer?
Yeah, well, I'm a gamer. I'm very competitive. I show a lot of good emotion on the field. I'm very involved. And I know I love playing for the fans. I love meeting new people. I love meeting new fans. Love pictures, everything. So, yeah, I'm excited. I want to win. I'm ready to get down to it.
He's a gamer, he's a winner, and don't forget, I'm not going to let it slide, he's also a nerd. That's Garret Guillemette. He's going to be taking the field for the Firebirds in under a week's time for opening day. Couldn't be more excited. Once again, Garret, thanks for giving me some of your time today.
Thank you.